Lads, lads, lads.
So trip to Anfield, and the pre-match on this one was basically how many would Liverpool get. Nobody gave us a cat in hell's chance. Jurgen Klopp was playing a few mind games over that Alisson would play. I think he saw it as irrelevant because Sheffield United weren't going to pose much of a threat. Chris Wilder, 3 changes. That's less changes than Watford had managers this year. And a change of personnel in the key positions. Certainly surprised me when I saw the team. When I first saw the team, I thought, no, I'm not a fan of this. I think Norwood should have played. But seeing Osborne at left wing back and Stevens in the Jack O'Connell role was much better. It worked after 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes were terrible. Lundstrom, a silly booking, sliding in like that, ridiculous. Mane should have scored. They could have even got it across to Salah, and it looked like it was going to be a long old night. But then we grew into the game. It was good to see. Ollie McBurney wasn't fouled and brought down, I say, outside the area. And Mike Dean gives a free kick. I thought, okay, that's fine. It's a shooting opportunity. And then VAR surprisingly gives a penalty.
Was it a penalty, the first goal for the Blades? If it's on the line, it's a penalty. You know, people will say that it wasn't on the line. You know, it probably was on the line. I think the bigger question is, was it even a foul? That one, probably not. You know, the left foot did actually catch him, McBurney, but probably not a foul. It's not also the way that I would want to be given goals. Also, people will also say it wasn't a good penalty when it was taken by Sander Berg. I've already seen a few people online writing that, but it was a good penalty because he scored. Very similar, I suppose, the way he took it to how Lundstrom took his penalty against Villa, but keeper went the right way on that day and Alisson went the wrong way this time, so good penalty.
Great to see the Blades have a lead at Anfield with our first half Premier League goal this season. Ben Osborne hit that beautifully, didn't he? A yard either side of Alisson, and that was 2-0 and a completely different game. Ollie McBurney missed that chance. Okay, would he have been flagged offside? Possibly so, but he's still got to be hitting the target. But overall, he was causing problems. He was running, he was winning aerial duels, and Liverpool didn't seem to like him. So that was good, and it was one of Ollie McBurney's better first half performances for Sheffield United.
Andrew Robertson, handball. Now, last season, that's a penalty. This season, interestingly, it's not. I think if the referee gives it, then we've got something to talk about. But the hand was not in an unnatural position, and again, not how I want to see penalties be given. But then 38 minutes, the most blatant penalty that you will probably see all season. You will definitely see trips like this given in other games, but you're not going to get 2 penalties at Anfield if you're Sheffield United. You know, you think we get some luck, but then it's cancelled out. Jota tripping Berg, blatant penalty.
We just had to hold out for 5 minutes before the break. And yet again, my only criticism, Leeds, they let Bamford go. Arsenal, they had a free header. And the third game, we've left a man on his own to beat Aaron Ramsdale. Yes, it was a good initial save from Ramsdale. Could he have pushed it away? Perhaps so. But disappointing to concede just before the break. But 1-1 at Anfield at half-time would have certainly have taken that. And lots of positives for Chris Wilder to have a chat with the boys at half-time and take us into the second half.
So it came out of half-time, scores 1-1. In any kind of football match where it's close, you really want to have some momentum coming out of the half. And it looked like we kind of had some of that. George Baldock had a really, really good shot that was just deflected wide in the 47th minute starting that half. So I kind of felt confident. I felt like, you know, if we can create a lot of chances this half like we did the first half, we could be in this game. And unfortunately, there wasn't really much for us. I think Chris Wilder made the correct decision in the 54th minute when he substituted Brewster off and put Burke on. It felt at that point that Liverpool was really pressuring us, and we were going to have to sit in that tight defensive compact formation that we're used to. And we were going to have to utilize Burke's speed, similar to the way we used him against Arsenal and created some good opportunities in that game. So and I felt like it was pretty effective. And a few minutes later, you had him pressuring Alisson, the Liverpool goalkeeper, almost taking the ball off of him.
Ollie Burke, nearly wins a penalty when Alisson dilly-dallied in the box. That was on 58 minutes. Didn't quite get to the ball in time, so that wasn't a penalty.
2 minutes after that, in the 60th minute, he rounded Fabinho, one of the defenders, and had a close shot on goal. That was a really good opportunity there. So I think we utilized Burke correctly, especially right after he went on the field. But unfortunately, right after that, Liverpool swung all the momentum. In the 62nd minute, Salah had that offsides goal disallowed.
Tight, but right.
But it really felt that even though that wasn't a goal, it felt like Liverpool was going to score. Jota heads it in to the backside of the goal. Ramsdale can't get there. And again, it's another one where a not natural central defender is in charge of marking somebody in the box and just gives them a yard or two of space, and we can't get up and clear the ball. We do that so well normally, especially when the crosses are coming in, and Egan can get rid of them or Basham can get rid of them. But Enda Stevens and Jack Robinson now just haven't shown the confidence that I think we need going forward and that we're missing from not having Jack O'Connell. But after that goal, Liverpool decided we're fine, 2-1, that's okay with us. They really sat back. We took it to them, really overloaded the wide areas. We got Lundstrom off, put McGoldrick on. I think that was a good switch too, because Didsey could kind of operate in that number 10 attacking midfield role. You had Burke with speed going down the left side, as well as Osborne, who I thought was pretty effective as a wingback today, not having played that position for us as far as I know. And then Baldock was owning the right side as the wing back on that side. So it was effective. Again, we created chances, but nothing came of it. Liverpool had a lot of really good chances on the counters. One, Mo Salah again hit off the post, almost went in, but luckily bounced right back to Ramsdale. So that ended the game 2-1. It feels bad because we had so many chances and we were in the game, had the lead in the first half, but that second half, I think it's still a performance that we can be proud of and take forward, knowing that we're at least playing our game and we know how to react to the game that's happening and kind of create those chances moving forward.
Lots of positives to take from that performance. Most obvious one, of course, being that we looked at taking a big step forward in rediscovering our form and our identity from last season. Really nice to see. In Liverpool's attacking third quite a lot. Most shots of any game so far, which is amazing. Again, we're facing the Premier League champions, European champions, Club World Cup winners. A big plus to me, the fact that we showed up last season, went to Anfield, seemed to be really starstruck. Liverpool beat us without even getting into second gear. This time we turned up, we gave them a good game, really proud of the boys. We were hanging on against Fulham in the last match, so actually the fact that we really took the game to Liverpool and actually could have snatched an equaliser at the end, massive positive. We were first on Match of the Day, which is a nice little bonus. That's not happened for a while. The green kit looks absolutely beautiful, really like that, nice to see that again. Things that weren't so good, McBurney, another chance squandered. He's got to put these away. He's doing so well in other aspects of his game, but another chance gone, I'm afraid. We conceded a goal from a far post header again. We've had that a couple of times now, I think, at Wolves and Leeds. And bless him, he's doing his best in that role, but it seems to be a bit of a weak spot for us at the minute. And unnecessary bookings, so Lunny getting booked, I think after about 2 minutes, he's then got to watch himself the rest of the game. These bookings are going to creep up on us if we're not careful. A bit more discipline, I think. But overall, fantastic performance from the lads.
So while there's no such thing as moral victories in sport, I think when you play the champions of England and come away losing 2-1 on the back of a really good performance where you created a lot of chances, I think you can take a lot away from that as far as where we go next. And, where we go next is Man City and Spurs. And so I don't think we should really fool ourselves into thinking that we're going to come away from that with maximum points or really perhaps any points. The reality of the situation is we could be on 1 point after those matches as well. And I think that's okay because after that we get into West Ham, West Brom, Southampton, games like that should be more manageable. And when you really look at the performance we had today, players like Berge, who we've come to expect that kind of performance from, and he's only improving, but then you see Ampadu fitting into that Norwood role really well, and after a couple errant passes in the first half, really seeming to boss that role. Baldock, I thought, was his best game of the season by far. I mean, some really good attacking touches. Obviously, could be a bit responsible for that first goal, but Sadio Mane is world class, and that's going to happen to lots of players. I think we do need to solve for the Jack O'Connell position. It's Enda's doing his best, and Enda's getting forward and overlapping well when he needs to, but defensively, as that central defender in the box on the left side, I just don't think Enda's really up to it there. So we do need to solve for that in January. But there's a lot to be positive about, and I don't think there's a reason to panic. And I think for all that slate players like McBurney and Lundstrom, I think when you see what they put out there against Liverpool, I think there's reason to believe that this team's going to come good, and Wilder and Nil are going to lead us through a difficult patch. And there's always going to be difficult patches in the Premier League, and that's what we should come to expect. So, maybe not a 9th place finish in our future, but I don't think we need to panic. I think we just need to stick together, back the boys, and let's see the points roll in.
Look at that ping from Norwood. Makes other teams look no good. We've got a team full of leaders. Alan Hill, Chris Wilder taught us. Yeah, there was us on the tour bus. Look how many goals Billy scored us. It's beautiful downtown Bromley Lane. We are the boys from Shore.